Today, I will tell you a story that might change everything. If you're serious about improving, comment, "I'm ready," before we begin. Chapter 1. I couldn't say a word. I remember the day clearly. A teacher asked me a question in English. It was a very simple question, just 5 words, but I froze. My heart started beating fast. My face turned red. I looked at her. I opened my mouth, but no words came out. I couldn't say anything. Not even one word. Everyone looked at me. I felt small. I felt broken. I knew the answer in my own language, but I didn't know how to say it in English. My brain was full, but my mouth was empty. It was like something blocked my voice. Like there was a wall inside me. I wanted to speak. I really did. But I couldn't. I felt fear. I felt shame. I felt like running away. After class, I sat alone. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I was thinking about that moment again and again. I asked myself, why can't I speak? Why is English so hard for me? I knew I had to do something. I couldn't keep feeling this way. I didn't want to be silent anymore. So I started small. Very small. I picked up my notebook. I wrote 1 word. Then I said it out loud. I looked in the mirror. I repeated it slowly. 1 word. 2 words. 3. I didn't try to speak fast. I didn't care about mistakes. I just wanted to feel the words in my mouth. Every day I added new words. I said, "Hello." I said, "My name is." I said, "How are you?" I stood in front of the mirror and talked to myself. I felt shy. I laughed at myself. But I kept doing it. And slowly, it became easier. I didn't freeze anymore. I could say something. Not a lot, but something. One night, I watched a cartoon. It was in English. The characters were talking. I paused the video. I repeated what they said. I copied their voice. I copied their rhythm. I pretended I was one of them. I spoke like them. It felt like a game. A fun game. And I started to enjoy it. But even then, when I had to speak to real people, I still felt scared. My hands would shake. My mouth would go dry. I would forget simple words. But I told myself, it's okay. This is part of learning. I didn't give up. One day, I went to a shop. I wanted to try. I walked up to the counter. I said, "1 milk, please." The shopkeeper smiled. He gave me the milk. He said, "Here you go." That was it. Just 1 sentence. But I felt proud. I felt strong. I did it. I spoke. I didn't freeze. That night, I wrote in my diary. I wrote, "Today, I said 1 sentence. I was scared, but I did it. I spoke English." That small moment changed something in me. It gave me courage. It made me believe that maybe I can speak English. Maybe I just need to keep going. So I did. I started practicing every day. I spoke when I was walking alone. I spoke when I was cooking. I spoke to my mirror. I spoke to my pillow. I said everything in English, even if it was simple. This is water. The sky is blue. I am tired. I turned my whole world into English. And slowly, I noticed a change. My sentences got longer. My mouth moved more freely. I didn't freeze as much. I didn't stay silent. I wasn't perfect, but I was brave. And that was enough. If you feel like I did, silent, scared, unsure, I want to tell you this. It's okay. It's normal. Many people feel this way at first. Speaking a new language is not easy, but you can do it. You can speak. You just need to start. Even with one word. Your journey doesn't begin with grammar books. It begins with the courage to say one simple sentence. Say it now. Say, I can speak English. Say it again. Say it out loud. This is your first step, and it's powerful. Chapter 2. I was afraid to make mistakes. When I first tried to speak English, my biggest fear was not forgetting words. It was making mistakes. I was afraid to sound silly. I was afraid people would laugh at me. I was afraid they would judge me. Even before I opened my mouth, I felt nervous. My heart beat fast. My mind screamed, "What if you say it wrong?" So I stayed silent. I waited. I smiled, but I didn't speak. Sometimes I knew the right word. I had practiced it at home. I had written it in my notebook. But in front of people, my confidence disappeared. I thought too much. Is the grammar correct? Is the pronunciation right? Will they understand me? And while I was thinking all this, the moment passed. The chance to speak was gone. At school, during English class, the teacher asked simple questions. What is your name? Where are you from? But I still hesitated. I whispered, or I just shook my head. I was afraid. I felt like if I made one small mistake, everyone would notice. Everyone would laugh. I felt this pressure every day. One day, something happened that changed me. A girl in my class stood up to answer a question. She was confident, but she made a big mistake. She said something that made no sense. Everyone heard it. For a second, the room went quiet. Then the teacher smiled and gently corrected her, and the girl smiled back. She wasn't embarrassed. She didn't run away. She said, "Oh, thank you." And she kept talking. I watched her. I was shocked. No one laughed. No one made fun of her. In fact, I respected her. She was brave. She made a mistake, but she learned from it. That moment taught me something important. Mistakes are not the end. Mistakes are the beginning. After that day, I decided to try. I started speaking more. I made many mistakes. I said he instead of she. I used the wrong tense. I said go Ed instead of went. I said I am agree. And yes, sometimes people corrected me, but they never laughed. They helped me. They smiled. They said, "You're learning. Keep going." At home, I told my parents about my fear. They told me a story. They said, when a baby learns to walk, they fall many times. But do we laugh? We clap? We say, "Good job," because we know every fall is a step forward. That story stayed in my heart. It helped me understand that speaking a language is like learning to walk. You will fall. You will say the wrong word. You will forget grammar. But every mistake is progress. Every mistake means you tried. I started celebrating my mistakes. When I said something wrong and someone corrected me, I smiled. I said, "Thank you." I wrote the correct version in my notebook. I repeated it out loud. I told myself, "This is how I grow." I also started speaking to kind people, people who didn't care about perfect English, people who wanted to understand me, not judge me. I spoke slowly. I asked, "Can you help me?" And they did. Speaking with kind people helped me gain more courage. I still remember one small conversation that changed my life. I was in a park. A tourist asked me for directions. I got nervous. I made 2 or 3 mistakes. I forgot a word. I said a sentence that sounded funny. But the tourist smiled and said, "Your English is good. Thank you." That one sentence gave me so much confidence. I still remember it today. That's the power of trying. That's the power of small, brave moments. If you are afraid to speak, I understand you. I was the same. But I want to tell you this. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to forget words. It's okay to say something wrong. You are learning. You are growing. And the only way to speak better is to speak more, even with mistakes. So today, try this. Speak one sentence in English, any sentence, even if it's not perfect, even if it's broken. Just speak it. Say it loud. Say it proud. Your mistakes are your teachers. And remember, people don't remember your mistakes. They remember your effort, your courage, your heart. Chapter 3. Talking to myself in English. I didn't have anyone to practice English with. No one in my house spoke English. My friends didn't either. I wanted to speak, but I had no partner. I felt stuck. I thought, how can I improve if I have no one to talk to? That thought made me sad. It made me feel alone. But one day, I saw a video. A person was talking to the mirror. They were speaking English to themselves. They said, "You don't need a partner. You can be your own partner." That idea felt strange. Talking to myself? Out loud? In English? It sounded silly, but I had nothing to lose. So I decided to try. The first time, I felt awkward. I stood in front of the mirror. I looked at my face. I said, "Hello, my name is..." Then I laughed. I felt weird. I looked around to make sure no one was watching. But I tried again. "How are you today?" I asked myself. I replied, "I am fine, thank you." It was simple, but it was something. And that something gave me hope. The next day, I did it again. I described what I was wearing. "This is my shirt. It is blue. My pants are black." I talked about the room. "The window is open. The fan is spinning." I didn't use hard words. I didn't worry about grammar. I just spoke, slowly, clearly, one sentence at a time. And something strange happened. I felt better. I felt more confident. I was using my voice. I was practicing. And I didn't need anyone else. It was just me and my mirror, my face, my words, my courage. I started doing it every day. In the morning, I stood in front of the mirror. I asked myself, "How do you feel today?" And I answered, "I feel good. I feel strong." I spoke slowly. I watched my lips move. I listened to my voice. I tried to make it sound natural. I also started talking during my day, not just in front of the mirror. While cooking, I said, I cut the onion. I boil the water. While walking, I said, I see a car. I see a tree. I used English for small things, daily things, everyday life. That helped me more than I expected. Because English is not just a subject, it's a tool. You use it to talk about your day, your thoughts, your life. So that's what I did. I talked about my life, to myself, in English. I also gave myself challenges. One day I talked about my favorite food. Another day I described a movie I liked. Another day I pretended to be in a shop. I said, "Hello, can I buy this?" Then I answered, "Yes, here it is." It was like a game, a fun, useful game. Sometimes I made mistakes. I used the wrong word. I forgot something. But I didn't stop. I laughed. I corrected myself. I kept going. I told myself, "You're learning. Keep talking." And every day it became easier. My sentences became longer. My voice became stronger. My fear became smaller. Talking to myself in English changed everything. It gave me practice. It gave me confidence. It made me feel in control. I didn't wait for someone else to help me. I helped myself. If you have no one to practice with, I want to tell you this. You are not alone. You can still speak. You can talk to yourself. You can practice in your room, in front of the mirror, in your head, in your heart. Speak your thoughts. Speak your day. Speak your dreams. Use simple sentences. Talk slowly. Talk clearly. And talk every day. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need a partner. You just need courage. And you already have that. So today, try this. Go to your mirror, look at yourself, and say, "Hi, I am learning English. I can do this." Say it again, louder, stronger, with feeling. This is your practice. This is your power. Speak to yourself, and soon you will speak to the world. Chapter 4. Listening changed my speaking. One day I stopped speaking. I felt tired. I was trying hard to talk in English, but the words still felt heavy. I wanted to say things, but I didn't know how. My mouth didn't move right. My sentences didn't sound natural. I was frustrated. I thought, why can't I speak like other people? That evening, I lay in bed and put on my earphones. I searched for an English video. Not a lesson, just a story. Something simple. I found a cartoon. The characters were talking slowly. They were using easy words. I closed my eyes and listened. And something happened. I didn't understand every word, but I could hear the rhythm. I could feel the sounds, the way they asked questions, the way they answered, the way their voices went up and down. It felt like music. I listened to it again. I started to repeat what they said, slowly, one sentence at a time. "Hi there, how are you?" "I'm doing great today." I said the words out loud. I tried to sound just like them. I copied their voice, their feeling, their flow. It was fun. I didn't worry about grammar. I didn't stop the video. I just listened and repeated. This is called shadowing. I didn't know the name. I just did it. And it helped me so much. Every day I listened to English. I didn't just listen with my ears. I listened with my mouth, with my body, with my heart. I became the speaker. I became the voice. I became the rhythm. After a few days, I noticed something. I started to speak better. My sentences were faster. My words were smoother. I didn't stop in the middle to think. My brain and my mouth started to work together. It felt like magic, but it wasn't magic. It was practice. Listening changed the way I spoke. I started listening in the morning, while brushing my teeth, while walking to school, while eating. I played English in the background, not loud, just soft, like music from my brain. I listened to podcasts. I listened to stories. I listened to people having conversations. I didn't stop to translate. I didn't try to write it down. I just listened, again and again. At night, I watched cartoons again, or simple English shows. I used subtitles at first, then I turned them off. I wanted to train my ears. Some days I listened and repeated. Some days I just listened. Both ways helped me speak better. Because listening is not just about hearing words, it's about learning how people talk, how they start a sentence, how they end it, how they connect words, how they breathe. I also started saying the same sentence in different ways. I heard someone say, "I'm tired." Then another said, "I'm exhausted." I didn't know that word, but I guessed it meant the same. I looked it up. I learned it. Listening helped me learn new words without studying them. I heard them, felt them, remembered them. And slowly, my speaking changed. I didn't just say words anymore. I said them with feeling. I said them like a real English speaker. Not perfect, but natural. And that gave me so much confidence. If you feel stuck, if your speaking is slow, I want you to try what I did. Don't just study English. Don't just read it. Listen to it. Every day, even for 10 minutes. Listen to things you enjoy. Cartoons, podcasts, songs, stories. Repeat after them. Copy their sound. Copy their rhythm. Let your mouth feel the language. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to listen with love. Because when you listen with love, your brain learns faster. Your ears get smarter. Your mouth gets stronger. This is not a secret. This is the truth. Listening changed my speaking. It can change yours too. Start today. Put on your headphones. Press play and repeat with your heart. Chapter 5. I started thinking in English. At first, I always translated. I thought in my language. Then I tried to change the words into English. It was slow. It was hard. Sometimes it made me say strange things. My sentences felt broken. My words didn't fit. I got stuck. I felt nervous. I wanted to speak faster, but my mind was too busy. I was using two languages at the same time. First my own, then English. That took too much time, too much energy, and I made mistakes. I thought, is this normal? Will I always speak like this? I felt frustrated, but I didn't stop. I kept listening, I kept speaking, I kept trying. Then one day something happened. I was walking to the shop. I saw a little girl playing with a red ball. And in my mind, I said, "That girl is happy." In English, not in my own language. I didn't plan it. I didn't translate it. It just came. I stopped walking. I smiled because I realized something had changed. That sentence came from inside me, in English. It felt simple, but powerful, like a door had opened, like a light had turned on. After that, it started to happen more often. I looked at the sky and said in my head, "It's cloudy today." I looked at my phone and thought, "The battery is low." I sat in the park and thought, "This place is peaceful." These were small thoughts, everyday thoughts, but they were in English, and they were coming naturally. I didn't know all the words. Sometimes I wanted to say something, but I didn't know how. That's okay. I used easy words. I used simple ideas. I didn't try to be perfect. I just kept thinking in English. I started asking myself questions in English. What should I eat today? Where did I put my pen? What time is it? I answered them too. Let's eat rice. It's on the table. It's 6:30. It became my habit, and my speaking got faster. My confidence grew. My words didn't get stuck anymore. I didn't freeze, because I didn't need to translate. I was already thinking in the language. Thinking in English felt like a superpower, but it didn't happen overnight. It happened slowly, step by step. I helped my brain get used to English. I listened a lot. I spoke every day. I used English when I was alone. I named things around me. I said my daily routines out loud. When I woke up, I said, "I'm getting out of bed." When I ate, I said, "I'm eating rice." When I studied, I said, "I'm learning new words." These small moments trained my brain, day by day, word by word. Even my dreams started to change. I remember one night I had a dream. In that dream, I was talking to someone, and we were speaking English. When I woke up, I laughed. I thought, wow, my brain is really changing. If you still think in your language, it's okay. That's normal. But you can train your brain. You can teach it to think in English. Start small. Use simple thoughts. Use easy sentences. Say them in your mind. Say them out loud. Don't wait for someone to talk to you. Talk to yourself. Think to yourself. Use English like it's your own. Don't worry if you don't know all the words. Use what you know. You will learn more as you go. Thinking in English is not about grammar. It's not about big words. It's about habit, about practice, about using the language with your heart and mind. So today, try this. Look around your room. In your mind, name 5 things in English. Then make a sentence about each one. The chair is brown. The fan is spinning. My bag is on the table. I see a book. This room is quiet. Do this every day, and soon English will become part of your thoughts, part of your world, part of you. You don't need to translate anymore. You just need to trust your mind, because once you start thinking in English, you'll start speaking it without fear. Chapter 6. Speaking with Friends gave me power. I used to practice alone. I read out loud. I listened to cartoons. I talked to myself. That helped me a lot. But something was missing. I wanted to speak with people, real people. I wanted to try my English in a real conversation. but I was scared. My hands would shake. My mind would go blank. I thought, what if I forget the words? What if I say something wrong? Then one day, my friend asked me a question in English, a very simple question. What's your favorite food? I paused. I got nervous. I almost answered in my own language. But I didn't. I took a deep breath. I said, I like pizza. Just 3 words. That was it. My friend smiled and said, Me too. We laughed. That was the moment I knew I could speak with people. So I started talking more. A few words here, a small sentence there. At school, I answered questions in English. At lunch, I talked with friends using simple sentences. This food is spicy. I'm feeling sleepy. What time is the next class? I didn't worry about grammar. I didn't try to sound perfect. I just tried to express myself. And it felt good. Speaking with friends gave me power. They listened to me. They didn't laugh. Even when I made mistakes, they waited. They helped me. They corrected me, but kindly. That made me feel safe. It gave me courage. It made me want to speak more. Sometimes we played word games in English. We chose a topic, like fruits, animals, or cities, and took turns naming things. Apple, banana, mango. That helped me learn new words, and it made speaking fun. Sometimes we practiced dialogues. I said, Hello, I'd like some water. My friend replied, Sure, here you go. We laughed. We made jokes. We acted like we were in a shop or a restaurant. It didn't feel like learning. It felt like play. And in that play, I found my voice. There was one day I can never forget. We had to give a short speech in class. Just 1 minute. In English. I was nervous. My legs felt weak. But my friend said, You can do this. Just speak from your heart. So I stood up. I looked at my classmates. I said, Hi, I'm learning English. I used to be afraid, but now I'm trying. Every day. When I finished, they clapped. That sound stayed in my heart. Because when people listen, when they support you, you grow faster. You speak better. You believe in yourself. I also joined a small English club. We met once a week. We picked a topic and talked about it. At first, I only said a few words. But week by week, I spoke more. I asked questions. I answered them. I shared my opinions. I listened. I learned. I met new people. Some were better than me. Some were beginners like me. But we helped each other. We didn't compete. We grew together. We laughed at our mistakes. We celebrated our progress. Speaking with friends made English feel real, alive, human, not just rules in a book, not just sounds in a cartoon. It became my voice, my connection, my bridge to the world. If you want to speak fluently, don't just study alone. Find someone to talk to, a friend, a classmate, a sibling, a language partner online, anyone who listens, anyone who supports. Start with small sentences. Use easy words. Say things like, What's your name? How was your day? Do you like this? These small questions will lead to big growth. And don't worry about mistakes. Everyone makes them. even native speakers. Your friends will understand. And if they don't, find better friends. Find kind ones, supportive ones. Because speaking is not just about grammar, it's about confidence. And confidence grows when you feel safe, when you feel heard. So speak with someone today. Send a message. Make a call. Meet in person. Say something in English. Anything. And when they reply, smile. Because now you are not learning alone. You are learning together. And that makes all the difference. Chapter 7. How I practiced every day without getting bored. I knew I had to practice. Everyone says that. Practice every day. Speak more. Don't stop. But sometimes I didn't feel like practicing. I was tired. I was bored. I wanted to play. I wanted to sleep. I thought, how can I practice if I don't feel like it? I needed a new way, a better way, a fun way. So I made a decision. I said to myself, I will not study English like a school subject. I will live with English like a friend. I started small. Each morning I said one sentence in English. It was my good morning sentence. Something simple. Today is Monday. Or, I want to drink tea. Just one sentence. But it became a habit. It made me feel good. While brushing my teeth, I named things in the bathroom. Toothbrush, mirror, water. I didn't sit with books. I just looked around and used words, simple words, my words. While putting on my shoes, I said, I am ready. It was practice, but it didn't feel like homework. Later, I made it into a game. I called it the 3-word game. I picked any 3 English words. I had to use them in one sentence. For example, apple, car, music. I said, I eat an apple in the car while listening to music. Sometimes the sentence was silly. Sometimes it was smart. But it always made me smile. One day I took my phone and recorded myself. I said, Hi, my name is Alex. Today I am happy. I learned 3 new words. I listened to my own voice. At first I felt shy. My voice sounded strange, but slowly I got used to it. I laughed. I smiled. I spoke again. It became a fun activity. I called it talk to the phone time. I also made English part of my rest time. When I watched cartoons or YouTube, I chose English videos. Easy ones, funny ones, short ones. I didn't understand every word, but I laughed. I enjoyed. I listened again and again. I turned songs into practice, too. I picked a song with slow, clear English. I sang along. I didn't care about mistakes. I just followed the rhythm. It felt like music class, but it was speaking practice. Sometimes I played games on my phone in English. Word games, picture games, vocabulary games. They made me think. They made me learn, and they made me want to play again. I also changed the language of my phone to English. That helped me a lot. Every time I opened an app, I saw new words. Settings, gallery, call log. I learned them without trying. They just became part of my day. When I walked outside, I looked at things and said their names. Tree, sky, road dog. I was not sitting at a desk. I was just living, but still learning. And in the evening, I wrote one line in my journal. Just one line. Today, I talked to my friend in English, or I learned 5 new words. It was short, but it helped me see my progress. The best part? I didn't feel bored because I wasn't forcing myself. I was enjoying myself. I was mixing learning with life, with fun, with feeling. Every day became a small English journey. A new word, a new sentence, a new way to say something, and slowly, without pressure, my English improved. I want you to try this too. Don't just open your book and study for hours. Speak while walking. Watch a short cartoon. Name the things around you. Sing a slow song. Play a word game. Record your voice. Talk to your mirror. Write 1 line before bed. These small things, if you do them every day, will bring big results. You don't need to do everything in one day. Just do something, and do it with joy. Because when you enjoy English, you remember more. You grow faster. You speak better. So make English your friend. Make it part of your fun, and you'll never feel bored again. Chapter 8. The day I spoke fluently without fear. It was a normal day. I didn't plan anything special. I didn't feel ready. But something happened that I will never forget. It was the day I spoke English, fluently, confidently, without fear. I was walking to the store. I wanted to buy a notebook. As I walked, I saw a man looking confused. He looked like a tourist. He looked at me and said, "Excuse me, can you help me?" I froze for a second. My heart started to beat fast. My old fear tried to come back, but I didn't stop. I looked at him and said, "Yes, sure. What do you need?" He smiled. He asked, "Where is the bus station?" And I answered. I didn't think too much. I just said what I knew. I said, "Go straight. Then turn left. It's near the big shop." He thanked me and said, "Your English is good." I smiled and said, "Thank you. I am learning." That was it. A short conversation, a few sentences, but for me it was everything. I didn't feel nervous. I didn't stop to think. I didn't translate in my head. I just spoke. Fluently. Clearly. Like it was natural. After that moment, I walked home slowly. I felt something new inside me. I felt proud. I felt free. I said to myself, "You did it. You really did it." I smiled the whole way. That night I thought about my journey. I remembered the days I couldn't say one word. The nights I cried because I felt stuck. The times I was too scared to answer in class. The moments I thought, maybe I'll never speak well. But now I knew something. I knew that fluency is not magic. It's not something only smart people have. It's not something you get in one day. It's something you build, slowly, bravely, with love. And I built it, day by day, word by word, mistake by mistake, practice by practice. That short conversation gave me confidence. It showed me what was already inside me. I just needed to use it. After that, I started speaking more. I answered questions in class. I talked to my friends in English. I even helped someone write an email in English. I wasn't afraid anymore. I was excited. I started saying longer sentences. I used more expressions. I played with my words. I enjoyed speaking. I didn't care if I made a mistake. I didn't care if my grammar was perfect. I just cared about sharing my thoughts. Because that's what fluency really means. It means expressing yourself. Even with simple words. Even with short sentences. Even when you're not perfect. If you're watching this and thinking, will I ever speak like that? I want to tell you something. Yes, you will, if you keep going. If you speak every day, even to yourself. If you listen and repeat. If you think in English. If you speak with your friends. If you enjoy the process. One day, your words will come out easily. One day, you won't freeze. One day someone will ask you something in English, and you will smile and answer without fear. That day will come, and when it does, you'll feel the same freedom I felt. You'll walk home proud. You'll say, I did it, and you'll never forget that day. So don't stop now. Keep practicing. Keep speaking. Your moment is coming. And when it comes, you'll feel like a bird flying for the first time. Not perfect, but powerful. Chapter 9. The tricks that helped me speak like this. Many people asked me, how did you do it? How did you go from shy and silent to confident and fluent? And I always say this, it wasn't one big trick. It was many small tricks. Small things that I did every day. Simple things that made a big change. I want to share those tricks with you, because if they helped me, they can help you too. The first trick was speaking slowly. At first, I tried to speak fast. I thought fast speaking meant good English, but it didn't work. I forgot words. I got stuck. I panicked. Then I changed my method. I started speaking slowly. One word, one pause, one sentence. And suddenly, my confidence grew. I could breathe. I could think. I could speak with calm. Speaking slowly helped me speak clearly. The second trick was shadowing. Every day I listened to a cartoon or a podcast. I repeated after the speaker. I copied their voice, their feeling, their rhythm. I didn't worry about understanding everything. I just repeated. Over time, I started to sound more natural. My pronunciation got better. My speaking became smoother. The third trick was talking to myself. Yes, it felt funny, but it worked. I stood in front of the mirror. I said what I felt. I'm tired. I want to eat something. I have a test tomorrow. These were simple lines, but they were mine. I used them again and again, and slowly my words became my habit. The fourth trick was thinking in English. I stopped translating. I looked at the sky and said, "It's blue." I saw a bird and thought, "It's flying." I didn't think in my language first. I trained my brain to use English as the first voice, and that changed everything. I started speaking without hesitation. The fifth trick was using English in my real life. I changed my phone language. I played games in English. I watched short videos with subtitles. I read simple English stories. I listened to music. I sang along. I lived with English. It was not just study time. It was all the time. The sixth trick was not waiting for perfect grammar. I used to stop myself. Is this correct? Is the tense right? But I learned that communication is more important than perfection. People understand you, even if your grammar isn't perfect. So I started speaking with the grammar I knew, and slowly I learned more. I improved by using it, not just by memorizing rules. The seventh trick was using sentence chunks. I learned small phrases I could use again and again, like, I think so. I don't know. Let me check. Can you repeat that? These phrases helped me speak faster. I didn't have to build every sentence from zero. I just used the chunks like building blocks. The eighth trick was recording my voice. I used my phone. I recorded 1 minute every day. I talked about my day, my plans, my dreams. Then I listened. At first, I didn't like my voice, but later I smiled. I saw progress. I saw growth. My voice became my teacher. The ninth trick was being brave. I told myself, you will make mistakes, and that's okay. I didn't wait for perfect conditions. I spoke even when I was scared. I tried even when I wasn't ready. And every time I tried, I learned something. These small tricks helped me speak like this. And now, I want you to use them too. Speak slowly. Repeat after English speakers. Talk to yourself. Think in English. Use it in your daily life. Don't wait for perfect grammar. Learn sentence chunks. Record your voice, and be brave. You don't need to do them all in one day. Start with one, then add another. Build your practice like a tower, one block at a time, and soon you'll be speaking with strength. Remember, fluency is not a gift. It's a result of daily practice, of smart tricks, of small wins. You can do this. You already have the power. Now use these tricks. Let English become your voice. Chapter 10. You can speak too. Start now. You have come this far. You have listened to every chapter. You know my journey. You know I started with fear. I couldn't speak one sentence. I was shy. I was silent. I felt weak. But I didn't stop. I kept going. I used small tricks. I practiced every day. I made English a part of my life. And step by step I changed. My fear became courage. My silence became speech. My broken English became a strong voice. If I can do it, you can too. I am not special. I didn't have a private tutor. I didn't live in an English-speaking country. I was just a normal learner, like you. But I decided to start, and I kept going, even on the hard days. You don't need to be perfect to speak English. You don't need to know every grammar rule. You don't need big words. You just need small steps, taken every day. Start with one word, then say one sentence, then speak about your day, then ask someone a question. It doesn't have to be fast. It just has to be consistent. Your English doesn't grow in one night. It grows quietly, little by little. It grows when you speak even though you're scared. It grows when you listen again and again. It grows when you talk to yourself. It grows when you keep learning, even when you make mistakes. Maybe you're thinking, but I'm still not confident. That's okay. Confidence comes after courage. Speak first. Confidence will follow. Maybe you're thinking, but I always forget words. That's okay. Repeat them. Use them in real life. Your brain will remember. Maybe you're thinking, but I don't have anyone to talk to. That's okay. Talk to yourself. Talk to your mirror. Talk to your phone. Speak into the air. What matters is that you speak. Your English voice is already inside you. It's waiting. It's quiet now, but it wants to grow. You don't need permission. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to start now, right now. Speak one sentence. Say it slowly. Say it clearly. Say it like you mean it. And tomorrow, say another. Every day is a chance to get better. There will be days you feel tired. You will want to stop. Don't. Remember why you started. You want to understand people. You want to express your feelings. You want to get a good job. You want to travel. You want to feel free when you speak. That goal is possible. That dream is real. But you have to work for it, and you have to believe in yourself. Don't compare yourself with others. Some people speak faster. Some know more words. That doesn't matter. This is your journey. This is your voice. Speak in your own way. Grow at your own speed. Celebrate your own progress. One day you'll look back and smile. You'll say, I remember when I couldn't speak. Now look at me. So don't wait. Don't hide. Don't be afraid. You are ready. You have everything you need. The world is waiting to hear your voice. And I believe in you. This is the end of my story. But it is the beginning of yours. Now it's your turn. Speak your truth. Speak your thoughts. Speak your dreams. Start small. Stay brave. Keep going. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who also wants to speak English. And comment below. What is the first sentence you will speak today? I'll be reading your comments. Your voice matters. You can speak English fluently and confidently. Start now.